Burns.
upset
I'm going to
about
read
this.
you a quote later.
Okay. Let's go to the express train. Let's go to Baltimore, where the Brewers had a
Makes
chance
me
to
so
sweep
mad.
the Orioles,
Funny.
facing their former teammate, Corbin Burns, and William Contreras greets him with his 4th home run of the season.
Hayes, William Contreras needs a sky bomb.
This had to feel good. Jackson Holiday, there it is, his first career MLB knock. Congratulations, Jackson. Move to the bottom of the 8th, Colton Cowser.
This dude.
Colton Cowser has hit his first 4 career home runs in his last 4 games. So that gives the Orioles a 6-4 lead. Craig Kimbrell strikes out Sal Frelick to end it, and the Orioles get a win. This was a very entertaining series. 6-4 yesterday against Milwaukee. Giants, Rays.
Look here.
Blake Snell facing his former team, the Tampa Bay Rays, for the first time yesterday, and Ahmed Rosario, 2-run homer. First home run of the season for Rosario. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay, and Snell facing Rene Pinto.
Now, Snell got going last year when he faced the Rays. That kind of jump-started his Cy Young run.
Yeah, he gave up 7 earned in 4 innings, and the Rays had a 7-1 lead. Pinto was not done. Second of the day, it's 8-2. Then in the 7th, Isaac Paredes. If it's a homer, you know it's a pull-side homer.
Go throw the ball away to that guy.
5th home run of the year. Rays go on to win 9-4. Snell has allowed 10 earned run in his first 7 innings as a Giant. Cubs, Mariners in Seattle.
Hey.
Cody Bellinger
Mike
facing Luis Castillo.
Someone else did that.
Oh, Castillo throwing error.
to the club, Mike.
Here comes Seiya Suzuki, 1-0.
Waters.
Michael Busch.
Got it.
You talk about a good acquisition for the
I just
Cubs,
like the
man.
fact that Craig Counsell, he played unbelievable and
2-run homer.
won the job. Former first-round pick.
Jorge Polanco, 2-run homer, cuts the lead to 3-2. All right, so it's bottom of the 9th.
Pick him on.
Julio Rodriguez pinch running for the Mariners, and he's picked off. Albert Alzolay.
Pinch running.
He's ruled safe.
Not ready to go.
Cubs challenging the call, and it's overturned. That's the ball game. Cubs win 3-2. Michael Busch, by the way, has homered in 4 straight games.
Tough when you give a star a day off and then ask him to go in.
This guy said he was grinding.
Cardinals, Diamondbacks.
Gallen
Zach
said
Gallen
I'm grinding?
facing Brandon Crawford.
Doesn't look that way.
I love his shoes.
Next batter, Michael Ciani, grounds out to first. Gallen's able to get out of the inning. Jake McCarthy. Jake from Rake Farm.
Tailbacks, Grant.
It's a double to left.
What's
to the
she
left.
wearing?
Yeah, Diamondbacks up 2-0. Corbin Carroll plates 2 more. It's now
It might be the
4-0.
best commercial of all time.
Gallen facing
No?
Wilson Contreras. That ball is well struck, but there is so much speed. There is so much speed in that outfield. It's almost like a no-fly zone. Great catch by McCarthy. Gallen, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, no runs. Diamondbacks blank the Cardinals 5-0. Zach Gallen, former Cardinal. Rockies, Blue Jays, Justin Turner.
Everybody's a former Cardinal.
Yeah, good call. Justin Turner. In the last 2 series, he's 9 for 16 with 3 doubles and 3 ribs. Justin Turner again. That's down the lane.
Lower.
Here comes Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Right?
Yep.
Confident.
Confident.
This is the
One button.
Justin Turner Blue Jayography here. Turner again.
Great. Look at him.
Look at him.
4-0. More than enough for Jose Barrios. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, lowers his ERA to 1.05. He has 4 straight quality starts to start the year and has a scoreless streak of 15 2/3. Blue Jays beat the Rockies 5-0. And here's some more information on Jose Barrios, and they've needed it. You know, Kevin Gausman didn't have, his greatest outing over the weekend, but Barrios, as we said, 4 straight quality starts to start the year and a scoreless inning streak that has now run to 15 2/3 innings as the Blue Jays beat the Rockies yesterday in Toronto. All right, Dero.
Got to give him love.
Yeah, we've talked about Jose Barrios. The stuff has been top-notch and quality for a while now. And we've been wondering, the question has been, okay, when is he going to take that next step? He was excellent in that playoff game, and it got taken out, and that's been definitely litigated and talked about a lot. But what'd you see from
We're going to bring it back.
Oh, okay, good. Definitely. Let's do
Lauren,
that.
why do we love Jose Barrios?
I'll tell you why. Because he had a clunker, and he came in through the Lincoln Tunnel in the pouring rain
the next
day after his start, and we will forever love him.
He got his brains beat in at Yankee Stadium. I thought he was going to cancel. He was here with a smile on his face.
Smile.
Former shortstop. So we're all in. So I don't normally do pitching breakdowns.
Yes.
So I'm gonna see if there's like a former guy who threw 100 miles an hour, maybe back behind the skybox that come help. Oh, there he is. Oh, Danny, please. Here we go.
We get to talk about this guy.
And I know you talked to Buck
Love
Martinez about him.
Love him.
Come on.
Yeah.
What did Buck have to say?
He says he's the ultimate teammate. You can bank him in. 32 starts a year. He's changed his game. He was a guy that was a four-seam fastball, overhand curveball, using the sinker, the two-seamer up and down in the zone. Changed his whole game.
All right, let's get into it. Because I want to tell people, in a game of high-velocity, four-seam breaking ball, living north-south, okay, I'm going to take you back to 2023, wild card, game 2. This guy is absolutely dominant. Pause this real quick, because I want to set the scene. He's a former first-rounder by Minnesota, and he went back there. So you know there was an axe to grind. He wanted to post, and he was dominant. And he got the moment stolen from him.
It was almost like the Blue Jays were headset. They were set on. They were getting a reliever in that game.
No matter what, he was facing 12 hitters, and he was coming out of that game. All right? Keep running it. So I know he came into this season, and John Schneider, whether it was analytics, whether it was a managerial move, it was the wrong move. And it's been chronicled. But he showed up this spring. Kevin Gausman goes down, little hiccup early, and he gets the opening day start. And I just want to take you, he was dominant again. He didn't have his A-game stuff, I thought, yesterday, but dominant again. We're going to take you through some ABs. Pause it. Bring up his pitch percentage usage. So lock in on the sinker slurve versus the four-seam change, okay? From 2019 to 2022, he was about a 56 to 43, okay? Take a look on Sunday. He has gone heavy sinker slurve, and he has gone away from the four-seamer change. Even to left-handed hitters, we're going to bring up a McMahon at bat here in a second. So what does that do? In a game of high velocity, north-south, right? The plate is 17 inches. I talk about this all the time, and Danny, you can jump in. 17 inches. If that's all I had to cover, north-south, I feel like you could shoot it out of a gun, and eventually we'll get to it. I know the elevated heaters worked in today's game of guys wanting to dip and drive, but there is a place, and I think it's coming back for a lot of guys, where expanding the plate and giving that visual of turning 17 inches into 20, 22 inches with a sinker slider is just as nasty, and he's proven it.
I think the game's best pitchers, when DeGrom is healthy, when Cole is healthy, those two guys, they can ride the four-seamer up, the two-seamer down. But what Barrios has done, he'll use that two-seamer up. It's not Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux perfected that pitch where he could start it at a left-hander's hip and bring it back out. Also, he would start the ball 4 or 5 inches off to a righty. You give up on that thing, and he brought it back over the plate.
Yep.
That's what he's doing. But he's doing it with the two-seamer. Normally, you would think that's a pitch that you want to use down in the zone. He'll run the two-seamer up and away to righties and lefties.
All right, bring up two ABs for me. Ryan McMahon, gotten off to a nice start with the Rockies. And just take you through how a sinker-slider combo, he's going two-seamer away right there, then a nasty slurve. Then he hangs a slurve in the middle of the plate, and now he sets up, watch, he turns this plate from 17 inches into 24. So Ryan McMahon gives up on this paralyzer. He thinks that ball, run that back for me real quick. And the only kind of example, pause it, I can give you is when I faced Mariano Rivera for the first time in Yankee Stadium and he threw the cutter, I literally was like, oh my God, that's going to hollow out my ribs. And it was a strike. So if you watch Ryan McMahon, he actually is like, man, this ball might clip me. Run it. You're like, ugh. Strike three. Now you're like, oh God, where am I supposed to go? And that, Dan, pause this and bring up the board against left-handers. Because Normally, you'd ride the four-seamer, right? You don't want the two-seamer sinking into a lefty's barrel from a right-hander. It's an easier pitch for a lefty to handle, but he's gone back to it. Sinker slurve usage versus left-handed hitters, 72, 73% when it was 45.
What also helps him is he changes speeds on that breaking ball, right? So he has that slurve that McMahon has to worry about that ball that comes down and in on him, right? So you're like, okay, all of a sudden, then he starts that two-seamer. You can't recognize it till too late. You think, oh, that's going to be that cutter in on me, right? And all of a sudden, boom, he brings it back over the
All right, bring me up a right-hander, AB. Brenton Doyle, right here. You're going to get slurve, 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 slurve.
But see, that's 81. But he changes speeds with that slurve. There's 79. He adds and subtracts off of it.
Keep throwing it. 80. Stay with it. Why would you deviate? 4 in a row, 2-2, so you're sitting slurve, right? Here he goes. This doesn't even have to be a good two-seamer. He's got him so focused on the outer half of the plate. See you later.
Boom, 93 with sink.
This was my nightmare two-seamer because of this. That stupid ground out to third base every time, because if I'm hitting off a four-seam fastball, Dan, and it's on plane, I know if I take my hands to it, the barrel's replacing it, and I'm on time. And I'm gonna square it up. When I face that two-seamer and it's moving and my hands, and I get jammed and ground out to third, I literally wanted to, like, run down to first base and just clock the first base.
What he's doing now isn't easy to do. That's like when you've been around for a little bit of while, you start experimenting, changing breaking ball speed, moving the two-seamer in and out. You're not afraid to throw it to a lefty and to say, hey, I'm going to ride that same one in on a right-hander, and I'm going to jam him with it. You can't be afraid to do it, and that's where he's at now.
And in a game right now, and I get it, it stinks for the game. A lot of starters are going down, big stars.
This guy, 32 starts a year, pencil him in.
He goes to the post. Now, is that genetics? I don't know. Is that... That gets a lot.
I think it's.
But that's why Kyle Gibson keeps getting deals.
You're right.
Dan,
that man goes to the post.
Mechanics or what?
It's mechanics, understanding your body, understanding what to do between starts, not to overthrow,
Some
not
luck
to over.
in there.
Absolutely, and it is. And you've seen guys. You see guys with great mechanics. You look at a guy like Jacob deGrom, right? You watch him throw. It is the most effortless, 98 to 101. How does this guy ever get hurt? Maybe there's just too much strength or too much arm action in that body for him to be able to do this. But this guy posts up every 5
Every time. We love him.
And as Nays just mentioned in my ear, you're healthy until you're not. I mean, because Garrett Cole's on that list. Justin Verlander.
Cole's got perfect body, perfect
100%.
mechanics. No one's more prepared.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pitching injuries, on the other side here, when we come back on MLB Central, JP Morosi is.
There is a speed bump on the front. 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 There is a speed bump on the front.